What's happening, everybody? It's your boy EP, and we are back with another segment of EP Talks. Today, I am privileged, I am honored to have, to me, one of my greatest singers, I think, on the planet. He's my friend, he's my brother of almost 2 decades, Cedric Ballard. Welcome to the platform, big guy.
Man, I appreciate you, man.
Man, this is a heck of a season for you.
It is. It's a lot coming, and God won't let me off the hook. Seems like it's one thing after another, but God has been faithful.
Absolutely, man. Well, it makes us feel good to see somebody who's been on the wall for a long time like you, who is still evolving, still rising.
That's right.
And so today I want my platform, those of you who don't know you, a lot of people do know you, but for those of you who don't know, I want to just open up a few things that God has trusted you to do with a career. Really, it's really an intersection, if you would, between industry and ministry.
That's right.
And it's kind of like, 30 years of doing, and I've seen you go from singing in a R&B group to I've seen you do stage plays. Right. You've released a couple of amazing CDs, one of which just released just a few months ago. Right. And now this newfound passion in the space of charity, if you would, with your nonprofit called the Heal Movement. Right. Tell us about the Heal Movement.
The Heal Movement is a nonprofit organization that really puts an emphasis on serving the homeless community. But 3 other tenets to that movement is making sure we deal with worship, prayer, and then therapy.
Oh, wow.
A lot of these things that we deal with in church and outside of the church, we think and feel like if we just go to God, and God can heal, God can deliver, which is why we put an emphasis on worship and prayer and meditation. But that therapy component has always been a taboo for the Black community. Yeah. And so because I know for a fact that God put therapy in the earth as a tool of healing, we wanted to actually allow people the opportunity to have access to therapy, to counselors, somebody they can talk to. Right. And it ain't just family members that they feel just know something, but they actually have clinical people that went to school for this. So that's just an opportunity that the Heal Movement is affording, along with transitional living and different things like that. So we're growing every day as people needs get bigger.
Yeah, I see a great deal of movement of what you're doing, like in the community, on your website. I've seen it on your social media. Now, this is very different, though, for a person who's had the lights, the camera, the stage, because this is more of a private setting, and you kind of are doing it really like to the community and almost a one-on-one. What's the difference here now that you've had to adjust, and you're navigating it very well, but what would you say is the difference between the big public and now the private?
Somebody asked me about this, and they say, are you actually the one that's out there serving the homeless and doing this and that and the other? I said, yeah, it's me and my wife. We do this together. What was just a dream or an idea that was 2 years ago that me and my wife were talking about now has become something that I can't even fathom. I can't even think through how we got where we are now. But this is something that was near and dear to our hearts because honestly, we understand how each of us are very fortunate to have a roof over our heads. Just last week, we were dealing with inclement weather in the city of Houston. And I'm telling you now, all I could think of is, what are these people having to deal with? Having to deal with wet grass and wet cement and not having the coverage and not being able to put AC on and all that kind of stuff, and having just a basic necessity to keep themselves together. And I guess I'm thankful that God gave me that kind of heart because it doesn't allow me just to focus solely on the stage. But the harvest is really ripe. And it's unfortunate that the laborers, even in 2025, are still few.
Wow. And like you said, having the heart to do it. To me, that's the real ministry.
That's
like
right.
when the lights are off, Daryl Coley wrote a song years ago called When the Music Stops.
The music stops.
And the band goes home.
That's right.
That's kind of like when the real ministry takes place.
That's right.
Let me ask you this though, because, and even before we had our cold front here locally, the people in LA, they lost houses.
That's right.
They had like about 2 or 3 moments to just gather birth certificate, ID card, all the pertinent medical documentation that they needed.
Right.
if in 5 years, can you see the Heal movement being able to respond to an emergency situation? Now here, we're more prone to hurricanes.
That's right.
Do you see, and I know I see funding and different things, support that's coming in, but do you see yourself being able to answer a major catastrophe that would happen like that?
That's the goal. The goal is for the Heal movement to spread healing around the world in every capacity that God sees fit to put us in.
Yeah.
That is the goal. I don't even know how to tell you how thankful that God has put us in this position, but I'm also thankful that He's allowing us to start right here so we can see the need. So now, as we work toward really developing and kind of enlarging what we do, we can now see how we can better equip those who are in need in those capacities. So yes, that's the goal.
And that's all. And see, in 2 years, you already have a website, a physical location. Where is the Heal movement actually?
The Heal movement is located at 7450 North Wayside Drive. It's in a building called City Gas Revitalization Initiative building.
Oh my God, we're gonna put that on the bottom of the screen.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That's the name of the building. The goal is for us to basically provide a clinic in that community so that people who don't have insurance or who need insurance are able to go and see a real doctor for real issues that they really need some care and concern about. And so that, along with, like I said, the worship and prayer component, we have different programs and different things that will assist people in making sure the healing grows and healing is effective.
Natural and spiritual.
Natural and spiritual.
Well, let me ask you this. We have a lot of things that's happening in Congress. The DEI situation. I think there's going to be a response to that. That means all of the diversity and equity and inclusion jobs have been eliminated.
That's right.
They've decided to do that.
Right.
And so with that, that's income. That's people's revenue to
right.
take care of their families.
Yeah.
What do you think, what is your response to that? And what is our responsibility now in terms of seeing the, I don't want to say backlash, but the response to them eliminating thousands of jobs that affect our community?
My natural man wants to say, I'm frustrated and I'm furious because everything that our ancestors were killed for, died for, walked for, marched for, is being just peeled away one day at a time. The spiritual component of me, or spiritual part of me, says this is God showing us that the government is not our source. And that our jobs are not our source.
Come on.
That I'm still your source.
Right.
That I'm the God that shall supply all your needs. How he does it, we don't know.
Right.
But what we know is he's still that same God. And so I believe that that's what God is really wanting to really prove to us, especially our communities, because we were so reared and so we were so tightly knit to what God was saying and doing, which caused us to fight so much to get those things in place for the Black communities and brown communities and communities of color. And sometimes, when we get included and we had some little inclusion, it seemed like we kind of strayed far away from the faith that God gave us. And so now God is saying, no, I'm drawing you back to me so that I can show you that I'm your source. Just like I had you in the 60s, the 50s, the 30s, in Jim Crow, all the Reconstruction periods and eras, I got you now.
It's kind of like a call back to the basics.
It's called back to the basics.
And this is not our first time being here.
Correct.
But nonprofits like your organization, and we're going to put on the screen how people can get in touch with you, your website and things like that. We're going to put it at the bottom of the screen. But in doing so, and I'm sure there's going to be some federal funding that comes, but for the most part, this is grassroots.
That's right.
How do people donate to you? How do they contribute to you? Because not only do you need food and clothing, but you need financial resources as well.
That's right. You go to www.healusnow.org. Go there, you can donate, you can see some of the work we're doing. And more importantly, you'll see exactly how people are being blessed by what it is that we are able to provide them. We provided families, multiple families, with a great Christmas in last year, and the opportunity to go out to the homeless to serve almost 300 homeless families last year was just so it was so gratifying, man. And I'm just thankful because I know it was nothing but God. So we plan on taking that to a whole nother level. We have a warehouse.
Come on.
We're getting stuff all the time from different corporations and companies that donate things to our Heal movement. So
it's amazing. And to see you in this light, I mean, you always come with a great energy, but this is kind of like, it's like the light has really come on at your age. And not saying that all the other things in those years did not count, but this is kind of like, wow. It's like, I would have been doing this 30 years ago.
But you know, running from purpose will cause you to stay in the dark. Because you're running from light. Because your purpose brings light. And so many years I've been running from it because I felt comfortable. From the Heal movement, from purpose, from assignments that I know God was pushing me towards. And I'm running from it because my comfortability has been music industry and music, what I considered music ministry. And I'm telling you now, God won't let you settle. Right. So now that I feel like I've given him a yes, it seems like one day after another, it's like another level of confidence and faith and evidence that God is really taking me in the right direction. And I'm just at a point where I'm like, God, I trust you. Whatever you want to do, let's just do it,
It's so good and it looks good. It feels good. Are there any upcoming events that you're going to have at the movement?
February 21st, we have a Night of Healing. Night of Healing is what we do in the Heal movement that kind of covers that worship and prayer component. This is the opportunity for people to come together because we believe there is healing in worship. I'm talking about when people come together with like minds, like hearts. The Bible tells us in the book of Acts that they were all together on one accord. And they were just sitting. Didn't say they were singing, preaching, or anything. They were just all on one accord, had one focus, one purpose. And I believe there's power in purpose when we come together. And I'm telling you, that's what we're doing. February 21st, 7 p.m. It's going to be just a major event. The Spirit of the Lord told me just to tell people to come. I tried to put together a little script on how it's going to flow and this, that, and that.
You don't know.
Just tell them to come.
It's a ticket?
And just meet me there. No, you can actually go register on our Eventbrite page, but I'm telling you, just show up. You don't have to register. You don't have to do no tickets. It's just show up. Because I really do believe that we need healing. We've been taking a lot of hits already in the month of January.
And we're just getting started.
Man. So I'm excited about what God is going to do that night. And then the next day, we go out and serve the homeless community with food and clothing and toiletries and all that kind of stuff. So
people that would show up like me, I know me, people that would show up and know they want to bring a check just to sow into it. What would they make the check payable to?
You make the check payable to the Heal movement. The Heal movement is accepting all financial, monetary donations because I'm telling you now, I know God wants to do something amazing. And you need money to do it. You need money. So definitely you go to the Heal movement, make the checks payable there, or once again you can go to the healusnow.org and you can donate right there online.
Well, thank you so much for all that you do. I'm loving this new record. I'm loving the acting. I'm seeing that you're in a movie called Love Mountain. The apparatus that you've been a part of.
But you're a star in Love Mountain.
I do a little something.
You're a star. You're a star.
I'm gonna make a debut.
And you score some of the music in Love Mountain.
But I'm debuting as a rapper in this one, so I want to talk a whole lot about me and what I'm doing because I'm gonna shock the world when I come out with my rap.
I want to say this. I'm honored because someone that has been at the level that you've been on for the last, I don't know how, I don't want to say years because that's gonna date me and you. But to do it at the level you've been doing it for this long. And to know that people are still being blessed and you still have the passion to do it, man, it means a lot to see you do this. And I'm telling you, the gospel industry is the better because of Earnest Pugh. So
I appreciate it, man. Don't try to get me emotional on my little talk show now. But thank you so much for coming through and telling us about the Heal movement. We're excited about the evolution and where God's going to take you. The worst is over, and I believe the best is yet to come.
I accept that.
Cedric Ballard, y'all follow him on all of his social media, buy his music, stream it, and we will be back. God bless you.